So we're going to start in a seated position. And if you can sit in Vajrasana with your knees together and your heels together, that's great. You could sit in Virasana with the feet wider and a block in between your ankles. You could sit in a cross-legged seat. You just might not have enough space behind you. It just depends on how tall your torso is. So you might want to elevate yourself in that seat. So we're going to work with our strap. And if you don't have a strap, I'll give you the alternative. And you want a pretty big loop to start. It's got to be probably a little bit wider than your shoulders. I'm just guesstimating here for Deacon. It's going to have to go wider. And we're going to kind of bind our hands in external rotation here. So you're going to do this kind of a thing where your palms are facing out and you're binding yourself in an external rotation. So once you have the strap around your wrist, sort of like mid-forearm, you're going to spin the thumbs out so you're getting this really deep external rotation in the humerus and opening across your chest, activating the arms quite a bit. And knit your ribs in as much as you can so you're as neutral as possible through the spine. So this practice is inspired by the glorious Ruth Bader Ginsburg, in an article I read that an opinion piece she wrote in the New York Times a couple months ago. And there were a couple of like genius nuggets that advice she bestowed through this piece that everyone should hear, but also that really speak to this idea of physically in the body of creating stability. Like we have the ability to create stability on our path, whatever that is. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. And then start to begin your Ujjayi pranayama if you haven't already. So you're inhaling and exhaling through your nose with a gentle tone at the back of your throat. And we control this. We keep this steady through the whole practice. Inhaling and exhaling, gentle tone at the back of the throat. It's constant. One piece of advice she gave to little girls was make your own luck. So many of you probably know her story, so I don't have to go through it. But she became a lawyer and then went on to be, a Supreme Court justice at a time. She was like one of 3 women in her law school class. She also had a baby right before she went to law school. One more big breath in. And then you're going to unbind yourself. Take a second to just kind of wiggle out the shoulders a little bit. And then we're going to turn to face forward and stand on the knees. So you might want, I'm going to give Deacon a blanket just for a little bit of extra padding. You might want a blanket, let's do it like this, underneath your knees. So you're going to stand on your knees and stretch your arms straight up toward the ceiling. And stabilize yourself. So hug your knees in, engage your legs, be really strong. So 2 of the pieces of advice that Ruth Bader Ginsburg received from her mother and her father-in-law. From her mother, it was be independent. And from her father-in-law, when she was facing having a toddler and also going to law school, he said, you find a way to manage. If you want to do it, you find a way to manage. So what I'm going to ask you to do today, step your right foot forward, is going to be really challenging. So it's challenging to keep pelvic stability in the face of really deep twists, but that's the challenge. And you're going to find a way to stay strong in that, and you're going to find a way to hold it and manage no matter how deep I ask you to go. No matter how challenging it is to find the way, you're going to find the way. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, stretch your left arm forward and your right arm back. And we'll call this like an open twist. Try not to let your right hip move back. Try not to let your left hip move forward. You just try to stay totally steady and stable. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale back to center with your arms up. Slide your right leg back. And bring your left foot forward. Take a big breath in. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. and anchor yourself in the stability of the legs. So your front heel roots down and isometrically pulls back. Your back knee roots down and isometrically drags forward, which is why the padding might be helpful to hold the pelvis stable. Above the belly button, lift and lengthen through the spine, front and back and all sides. Exhale and twist. Nice. One more. Big breath in. Slide the sides of the throat and the head back a bit more. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to the middle, arms over your head, and then slide your left leg back. Plant your hands on the floor. Cat and cow, just 3 rounds to open up the spine. Inhale, you're opening the front of the body. Exhale, open the back of the body. And one more. Inhale, open front body. Exhale, open back body. Beautiful. Come to neutral. Let's do a quick flipped hand version. So flip your right fingertips back, left fingertips back. Maybe you rock side to side, and you choose the variation that feels good. If you're pretty open here, a cat and cow variation might be good. Yes, exactly, Deacon. Hip circles are great. Couple breaths to just release and open the inner forearm. And one more round of breath to settle into neutral, which is like tabletop with your hands flipped and then turn your hands forward. If you feel like you need a counter stretch, take the next 2 breaths to kind of shake out each hand, counter stretch the wrist. Do whatever you feel like you need to do to feel normal placing your hands here. And then inhale your right arm out to the right and up toward the ceiling. Pelvic stability. So the outer, yes, beautiful. The outer right hip needs to turn down slightly. All of this is powered from your legs. So squeeze your knees toward one another. Keep the inner thighs toned, and then thread the right arm behind the left wrist. You might come to forearm. You might come all the way down to your shoulder. And once you twist to the left, your outer left hip needs to hug in and tack back. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Beautiful. One more big breath in and a full breath out. Inhale back onto hands and knees. We're going to stretch the right leg up and back behind you. Keep your pelvis neutral. Pull your right knee into your chest and place the right foot towards your right thumb. So we're back in our Anjane. Stretch your arms up over your head. Keep scissoring the legs together. So front heel roots down and drags back knee roots down and drags forward. Take a big breath in, lift through the sides of the waist. As you exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. And you don't have to push it. I want you to stay focused on keeping the stability in the pelvis. Inhale, arms up over your head. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Holding steady in the legs. Inhale, arms up. Left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale the arms up. 2 more. Left arm forward, right arm back. Last one. Inhale up. Left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to frame the front foot. Slide your right leg back and stretch back into downward facing dog. Give yourself a couple breaths to just be here. First down dog. Pedal, wiggle, whatever you feel like you need to do. But since the posture is symmetrical, both sides of your body are doing the same thing, this is a great opportunity to just kind of seal in, hug skin to muscle, muscle to bone, seal in the stability of the symmetry in your pelvis. Right? Staying clear, staying committed on your path. I nearly lost it when I heard that she went to law school in the face of also, that no one wanted her there. Having a toddler, I know how hard it is. So to think that she went to law school and everyone didn't want her there and then she still did it anyway, it's incredible. She also works out. See the documentary, you guys. It's really good. Shift forward to plank. Have you seen her do plank? Deacon, did you see it? Yeah, it's amazing. So we're going to do the littlest, tiniest suggestion of chaturanga. Take a big breath in, bend your elbows 1 inch, 2 inches. Inhale back up, beautiful. Exhale 2 inches, just suggesting chaturanga. Back up, if you want to drop your knees, your blanket's there, which is great. 2 inches, chaturanga. Inhale back up, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Exhale, lower your knees to the floor. Let's take a round of cat and cow. So inhale, open up through the front of the body. As you exhale, round through the back of the body. Inhale to neutral. Lift the left arm out to the left and up toward the ceiling. And notice that you could let your pelvis go, let your right hip come forward, and you'll be able to twist more to the left, but I don't want you to. This is perfect, Tekin. Thread the left arm through and behind your right. So your right hip is gonna move out to the right, so you have to hug your outer right hip in, and you just kind of imagine that there's like a glass of water, iced coffee on your low back that you don't wanna spill, and breathe deeply into both sides of your waist. So the challenge is one part of your body is moving in one direction, it's pulling you in one direction, but your pelvis is holding you steady in another direction, yeah? Certainly this isn't the only way to twist your body, but this is one method and really useful, especially for a practice about staying committed to finding your way, to being independent on your path and not letting anyone sway you. Come onto your hands and knees. Lift your left leg up and back behind you again, reinforcing the square pelvis. Exhale, knee to the chest and place the foot toward your thumb. Inhale, rise to Anjane, but immediately you're committed in your legs. Front heel, back knee, root down and isometrically pull in. It's perfect. Lift through the back of the waist. As you exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. And we're gonna do it 5 times. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale up. Right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale up. Right arm forward, left arm back. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands down, and come back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to acknowledge that symmetry, engage on all sides, skin to muscle, muscle to bone, especially active in your legs. Shift forward to plank as you inhale, that same just flirting with chaturanga. Exhale, 2 inches. Inhale, back up. Exhale, 2 inches. Inhale, back up. Exhale, 2. Good. Inhale, back up. Downward facing dog. And you don't need your blanket now, so you can fold it up and put it off to the side. Bend your knees deeply and step or hop your feet to your hands. Lengthen on the inhale. Fold on your exhale. Inhale and rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release your arms and stand strong. Firm your thighs, lift your belly, hug your blades on your back. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. It's beautiful. Lengthen on the inhale. Step back to plank. And you can stay with these little mini chaturangas or lower forward and down to chaturanga. You'll be holding in that pulse. Inhale into your back bend if you're choosing not to do our traditional flow. And back to downward facing dog. So we'll make one little modification, and you may or may not need it, so just try it on and see how it feels. Take your feet a tiny bit wider, so more than sit bone distance width apart, like a hips distance width apart, and then step your feet in like 1 or 2 inches. So it's a slightly wider and a slightly shorter down dog. And take a down dog twist. So reach your right hand back toward your outer left shin or ankle if you're open enough to do that. And as you twist your belly to the left, you're pressing your inner right thigh back and widening it to the right. So the right rim of the pelvis lifts. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale and place your right hand back for your down dog. And you're in a funkier position, so just readjust so you're in your regular down dog stance and lift your right leg up. Exhale your right foot forward and rise to crescent lunge. So steady. You don't have to worry too much about the back bend expression of this form. Anchor yourself into your legs. Go deeper into the front knee, I bend my back knee all the time in this one so I can create tons of length in the low back. You choose the position of the back leg, but wherever you are, hug the feet in like crazy. Squeeze in, like you're zippering your whole core line in. So feet hug in, inner thighs hug in, tail roots, belly lifts. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, same as Anjaneyasana, left arm forward, right arm back. Now you try this on. If this feels totally cool, go for a prayer version of the twist, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. And you might even use your right hand on your outer right thigh to kind of like wrap the outer right hip down and kind of wiggle and nuzzle the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Push your right knee into your left arm. Push your left arm back into your right knee. It's so hard to keep the pelvis level, yeah. And Deacon's like kind of dancing around it and feeling his way into it. That's exactly the way you want to work this. So you keep pressing the inner left thigh up, hugging your outer right hip in. The inner left thigh presses up as you bend deeper into the right thigh, creating as much symmetry across the low back as you can. Excellent. On your next inhale, you're going to unwind and frame your front foot with your hands. Just straighten your right leg. Keep your back heel unplugged, so in sort of a non-traditional form of Parsvottanasana. So Deacon's really open, and a lot of you I know are pretty open. So this is one really good adjustment to feel where symmetry is here, which it's so hard. Shift your weight into your right foot a little bit more, like the whole pose forward. And then keep your right leg as straight as you can, but pull your outer right hip and thigh back. And as you do that, you're gonna have more facility or more room to lift the left hip up. That's perfect, there it is. Take a big breath in and just lift and lengthen your spine here. As you breathe out, forward fold. Beautiful. Just bend into your right knee, plant your hands, and step back to plank. And you might return to those mini chaturangas or exhale, lower down. Inhale into your back bend and back to downward facing dog. So in the face of lots of twists and turns, adversity, stuff not going your way, how do you find a way to manage? How do you find a way to stay steady no matter what's going on around you? So maybe you make that adjustment on your down dog again, where it's a little bit shorter and wider. We're gonna take the down dog twist to the left. So the left hand, it's actually twist to the right with the left hand grabbing the outer right shin or ankle. Create a lot of inner spiral in the left leg. So the inner left thigh widens to the left. Lift the left rim of the pelvis as the outer right hip hugs in. Twist your belly to the right. Let's take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Inhale to place the left hand, you're back in your down dog. Inhale and lift the left leg up. Exhale the left foot forward. Inhale and rise to your crescent lunge. And remember, you're making the adjustments in your legs that enable you to find stability in your pelvis. Bending your back knee. See if you could get a right angle in your left leg. Go as low as you can. So it's a really nice and annoying adjustment, but it's where you're gonna end up when you end up twisting. Anchor yourself down, squeeze your legs in, take a really big breath in, lengthen through the sides of the waist. As you exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. And you might hold here, this is plenty. If you can, hook your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, prayer twist to the left. And you're feeling your way into where level is. A really nice adjustment is to just bring your left hand across your low back and feel where it is in space. And often it's picking, good Deacon, picking your own outer left hip up. But muscularly, how you do that is lifting the inner left thigh up as you hug your outer right hip in. It's beautiful. Notice where your head is in space. Slide the sides of the throat and the head back to open up your chest more. Take a full inhale. Exhale, twist a little bit more. Yeah. Inhale, both hands frame the front foot. So we're in this long variation of Parsvottanasana. Stretch the left leg straight, hips square. And for my bendy friends, it's beautiful. You're spending your time to kind of like put a little more weight in your left foot as you pull the left hip and thigh back, keeping that level pelvis. Breathe deeply. We're gonna do one dynamic movement. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine so the sternum's open but legs stay steady. Exhale and forward fold. Bend into the left knee, plant your hands, step back to plank, either mini plank chaturangas or exhale chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend and back to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here or in a child's pose. So lower your knees or hold in your down dog for 3 breaths. If you're in child's, transition into downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step, step, or hop, feet to hands. Lengthen on the inhale and fold on your exhale. Inhale and rise up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, so we're gonna take Parvrita Trikonasana, which is twisting triangle, which gets thrown into classes all the time, and it's actually one of the, probably the hardest standing pose. So I do want you to work with blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can do this like and with the seat of a chair in front of you, your hands on the chair, or you could do it with like a table or the seat of your couch. But some of you can go all the way to the floor without blocks, but it's really about maintaining the symmetry in the pelvis as we've been working. So keep your right foot forward and step your left foot back. And it doesn't go back as long as we were in our Parsvottanasana. So the old school cue used to be like 3.5 to 4 feet, but that doesn't work for Deacon because Deacon has long legs. So it's all about your body. It's shorter than your Warrior 2 for sure, but it's long enough that you can anchor your back heel to the floor. The back foot's on a 45-degree angle facing forward. You were great. Outer right hip pulls back. Now, traditional form is heel to heel alignment. Really, unless you're like a prima ballerina, that doesn't work for your body. Just trust me, it's not work. So your feet should be sit bone distance apart, at least maybe even hips distance if you're tighter. Deacon has his hands on his hip, which is a perfect way to start this, and you can kind of feel where your pelvis is in space and square it right away. Let the back thigh govern our way in here. So you're gonna keep spinning the inner left thigh back as you hinge at your hips and fold forward, bringing your hands to your blocks. So this is the traditional form of Parsvottanasana, and that's how we're gonna get into our Trikonasana. So first things first, bring your left block right to the inside of your right foot and your right hand to your right hip. You could feel across the back of your pelvis to see if it's level. Deacon, you look great. Take a big breath in and lengthen through both sides of the waist. As you exhale, twist your belly to the right. And you might feel stuck here. There's nothing more that I like than having someone else adjust me in this pose because it's one of those that's it's really hard. It's just really hard to do. Just like going to law school with a toddler or being the only sane person on the Supreme Court. Lift your right arm up toward the ceiling, I'm just saying. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Now, if this feels like Deacon has quite a bit of freedom here, so if he wanted to, he could place his left hand on the block that's outside of the right foot. And there's degrees here. You don't have to go there. You could turn that block down to the medium height. You could turn it to the lowest height and just start to flirt with going lower and lower and lower. With every inhale, you breathe length. With every exhale, you contract and twist. Legs are anchored, pelvis symmetrical. And just one more round of breath. You're gonna wait for an inhale to unwind and put both hands back on the blocks. Just adjust them. They're obviously not in the right position. Step the left foot forward, forward bend. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky, and slowly come all the way up to stand. Pause for a full breath in and a full breath out. Left foot will stay forward. Step the right foot back. Remember, we're not heel to heel, we're a little bit wider. You're using your inner right thigh to anchor basically the movement into the forward bend. So the inner right thigh spirals back and widens to the right. Hinge at your hips, so you keep your length in your spine as you fold forward. Blocks could be at the highest height. You could also bend your left knee a little bit. Keep anchoring your left big toe as the left hip pulls back. You're really trying to feel your way into what this symmetry is. Bring your right block to the inside of your left foot, left hand to the left hip. You can use your fingers or your thumb to tack your outer left hip back so you're angling it toward your inner right thigh. It's that same action we did in crescent and in Anjane. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Extend the left arm up as you wish. Right shoulder blade stays firm on the back. Keep rooted in your right heel. Keep spinning the inner right thigh back. Draw your belly back a little bit more, and make sure that the back of the right rib cage is inflating with breath. Use that to twist you. Back right waist widens, right? So the movement is really above your belly button. Maybe you're bringing your right hand to the outside of the left foot, but you're playing with it. It's not about extreme twisting. It's about giving yourself the challenge, the proper challenge to build the strength and stability in your legs and your pelvis. So if you lose the alignment there, then we've lost the point. We're on someone else's journey and not on our own. You're going to use an inhale to slowly unwind both hands to the blocks, adjust them, and step the right foot forward. Lengthen on the inhale. Fold on the exhale. Downward facing dog. A really brief pigeon. Bring your right knee forward for pigeon. Let's stay upright in this pigeon. So we're getting a little bit of relief through the front of the left thigh. Activate your legs, similar but in a different way than the way we were doing in the twisting triangle, but it's still that scissoring action, so the knees root down and hug in. Take one more big breath in and a full breath out. Downward facing dog. It might feel good to counter stretch and lift the right leg up and open the hip, bend the knee, and do that whole thing. If that feels good to you, do it. Beautiful. And then left knee forward, staying upright in our pigeon. Root your hands down and stretch back to down dog, and counter if you did on the first side. Lifting the left leg, bending the knee, opening the hip, and stretching back. Release the left foot down. We're going to bring our blanket back into play. Lower your knees down on your blanket, and we're going to take one Ustrasana. Okay, so you could use a block in between your thighs, right in between your upper inner thighs. Squeeze the block. I like it the short rectangular way, not the long way. I can break that down further, but for women, I think it's better like this. For guys, or if you have really narrow symmetrical thighs, like this way is fine too. So choose the way you want to do it, Deacon, either way. Squeeze the block. Toes can be tucked or feet pointed. I want you to make the choice that feels more active in your legs. Bring your hands to your low back to root your tailbone down. Lift through the sides of the waist. Should feel pretty open and free from all the twisting. And then curl back to whatever degree you can. Keep lifting and lengthening through the back of your skull. So if we had all the time in the world, I would say hold this as long as you want, but we're going to do at least 3 more breaths. But if you're in it and you're really feeling it, back bends are such a beautiful counter to twisting, so you could linger here a little bit longer. You could also hit pause and do it 2 or 3 times. To come out, lead with your heart as you come up. You can take the block out, sit back on your heels. You won't need the blanket unless you need the padding underneath your knees normally. So if you need the padding, great. If you don't, you don't. Really mindfully and slowly come into a child's pose. Walk your hands back to your knees, come to sit on your heels, and swing your legs out in front of you. Sit in Dandasana, adjusting thighs and pelvis as you need, feet flexed, inner thighs root. And then forward fold, Paschimottanasana. as you spin the inner thighs down toward the floor, so keep rooting the inner thighs down, lift and lengthen through the low back. Breathe space into the sides of your waist, both of which we opened as we twisted, and reach the sternum forward as you fold. 2 more breaths. Slowly come back up. Move mindfully. So bend your knees, roll onto your back, hug your knees into your chest when you get onto your back. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Release your legs for Shavasana. And twists they're intense poses. They're detoxing. I can explain that in depth, but they kind of wring out your body. But more than that, they're neutralizing. So whatever energy you need, like if you're feeling fatigued, they energize you. If you're really amped up, they calm you down. So my suggestion would be, since it's like a pretty big practice that we packed into 30 minutes, that you stay here for at least 5 minutes. So you could grab your phone and set your timer and linger. But if you can't and you need to move on with your day, place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart and breathe deeply. Reach your arms over your head and stretch. Bend your knees and roll to your side. Slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. Big breath in. Bow your head to your heart. Namaste.